and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My Hometown is made possible by Herald Community Newspapers. For more local news, visit liherald.com. Got a story to tell? Call 516-569-4000. WHPC.
And now we return to My Hometown.
And yes, we are back from My Hometown, and I'm your host, Rita Monte. And NCC student Zach Turkel is with us. And today our special guest is Gina Lo Bello. So we've been having a wonderful conversation. And just before the break, we were talking about Make-A-Wish. So let's talk about Make-A-Wish Metro New York and Western New York nonprofit organization. What is your involvement in this?
Thank you. I am actually on the advisory board for Make-A-Wish Metro New York. And Western New York is the Buffalo and Rochester area, so I don't really get involved in that. But I do get involved in Metro New York, which is the 5 boroughs in Nassau County. And my involvement is to help raise funds for wishes, as well as actually being a wish-granting volunteer, which means that you meet with the child and the family and you speak to them and see what the child's wish is. So Make-A-Wish is dedicated to providing wishes for children with life-threatening medical conditions. The idea here is that when these children who have these life-threatening conditions, now that could be everything from cancer to congenital heart disease to cystic fibrosis, when they have these wishes, it gives them the opportunity to really think positive through their most difficult days. Wishes give them hope, strength, and joy. And now there's actually medical data that shows that children who have wishes actually have a much higher probability of a positive outcome. They track the amount of doctor visits patients have, the amount of hospital visits, and actually wishes improve that. And when you look at children who have wishes granted, about 80% of them live on to have wonderful, productive lives. And so what I've enjoyed a lot about my time with Make-A-Wish is actually meeting a lot of these, what they call wish kids, but actually many of them are in their 30s and 40s now. Make-A-Wish has been granting wishes for over 30 years. And many of them will tell you that when they were going through their most difficult days of chemotherapy, that thinking about their wish and what they wanted really gave them something positive to think about. And many of them will tell you stories of being in the children's wards at hospitals and talking to other children, saying, "What's your wish? What's your wish?" Really something positive to look forward to. And even a group of people that are not acknowledged during these times, but I've seen a positive impact on them as well, is siblings. Because you might imagine the crisis in a family when a child receives a terrible life-threatening diagnosis. The parents are all in doing what they can to help that child, and their other siblings are marginalized during this time. But when children have wishes, especially if their wish is to include their family in something, it really helps the family as a whole both heal after those difficult times, or sometimes if the child does not make it, it creates a very positive memory for everyone to look back upon.
It's interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's interesting that you said that about the siblings, because I do some volunteer work as a translator at the Ronald McDonald for kids that come from Italy. So we have actually 2 families here right now at Ronald McDonald, and I always look at the sister. There's one particular girl that they hear from Italy, and the sister, she's a little bit younger, and I always go over to her, and I always manage, and I always try to speak to her more and see what she's feeling, because she's always in the background, and I tell her, you are the real hero over here, right here. So it is very important for the siblings, because, they are, the sick patient is being taken care of, and the other ones, sometimes people forget about the siblings.
Yeah.
So that was a very good point.
100%.
Yes.
So Gina, the Manhasset Press, during one of your many events, wrote, Gina Lo Bello is once again working her magic. So I'm kind of wondering, do you have magical powers? Can you lift me up in the air? Can you do something like that?
That's, you know what, that was so sweet of them to say that.
Yeah.
As part of my commitment to Make-A-Wish Advisory Board, we commit ourselves to raising funds so that they could grant wishes. The average cost of a wish is about $10,000.
Wow.
Some wishes are very simple, like a dollhouse, a bicycle. Others are more more complex and involve travel with the family to Hawaii, swimming with dolphins, or to the Olympics or something like that. So with the average cost of a wish at $10,000, they ask their voluntary leadership to help raise money for that. So what I have done is worked with Louie's Oyster Bar and Grill on the North Shore in Port Washington, a fabulous restaurant that is good for a routine night out or a destination. It's right on the water. It's beautiful, and we have an event every January. They donate their time, their food, and I invite my friends and family from home, from Manhasset, where I've raised my family, from Northwell, and people join this fundraising activity. And if there's magic in the air, it's that I know many wonderful people with kind, giving hearts, and they're all there to have a good time and do good for the kids. And so when you bring fabulous people together, magic happens. And at these events, Make-A-Wish allows me to introduce some wish kids to the guests there. So we have routinely now, we've had a couple of, I'll say wish kids, but these are now people in their 30s and 40s, and they actually talk to the guests about the power of a wish, and they talk to them about their difficult days and what the wish was and how it truly brought magic to them, and really help give them hope, strength, and joy during their difficult days. So if there's magic, it's because of the wish kids, and it's because of the people in their room, and I just have the privilege of providing the forum for them to come.
So some of the young patients, they become volunteers over the years, really?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. So they really appreciate what a wish did for their lives and those of their loved ones, and they come to many of the events. So some of the upcoming events, just to share with your listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every September now in Nassau County, we've had a Walk for Wishes, a fundraiser. This year it will be Sunday, September 16th at Eisenhower Park. Your listeners can go to metronewyork.wish.org to learn more. And it's a 5K walk. There are wish kids there talking about the power of a wish. It's a beautiful morning, and you come with family and friends, take a walk, and raise money for wish kids. The other big event is something that we call Power of a Wish. It's an annual gala that takes place at Wall Street Cipriani. This year it will be on June 7th, and Tina Fey will be hosting it. Tina Fey from Saturday Night Live. So again, if anyone is interested in attending, that is our Metro New York's largest fundraiser of the year, and they also introduce wish kids there. Again, young adults, middle-aged adults who really understand the power of a wish, and quite often their parents too share the positive experience that the wishes have had on their family.
So I want to actually ask a question about wishes in particular. So you've mentioned earlier that the wishes can be, it's so broad. Like they'll have, maybe a small wish, but then a huge wish. What is probably one of the most unique wishes you have ever seen over the past few years you've worked at Northwell Health?
I think the most impactful wishes to me are perhaps sometimes the simplest wishes. We all see on the media about people meeting stars, but, even someone being able to dress up as a princess or having a birthday party. Those to me are the most beautiful wishes. We had at our event last year someone who had congenital heart disease and had an enormous amount of surgeries before he was 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And he just wanted a birthday party, something many kids take for granted. Yeah. And Make-A-Wish had a birthday party for him in his home, and in addition to many of the other things, they had a marching band come to his house. Wow. And again, things many people take for granted, a birthday party for a young child, and that was his wish. So, they're really, really special. And I say my work with Make-A-Wish gives me strength, hope, and joy when I see the courage and the happiness that is in these families with wishes coming true.
Yes, our time is getting short. How can the listeners out there, public and communities, help during this fundraising?
Sure. So you can actually take part in these fundraising events. You can make a simple donation. Again, if you go to metrony.wish.org, you can learn more. Mm-hmm. Or you could be a wish granter, especially if English is not your first language. They're always looking for volunteers to help interact with wish families. Our goal is to provide a wish for every eligible child, and so we encourage as many donations and wishes as volunteers as possible.
Yeah, that's great. So we're at the closing. I can't believe it. It went so fast. We want to thank Gina today. Can you give us again all the information, how to get in touch with you?
Contact and everything like that. Yeah.
Sure. So I'm Gina Lo Bello, and you could contact me at globello, LOBELLO, at northwell.edu.
Thank you so much for a very enlightening interview today. We want to thank you, and so let's make all the children's wishes come true.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Zach.
No problem, Rita.
Thank you. I'm your host, Rita Monte, along with NCC student Zach Turkel, and we thank you for listening.